I noticed that the husband was there by her side.
Like all the methods, like standing in the shower, and like she switched to the birthing stool and then into the tub.
So she used different positions, and the coach was there, the husband was there. Were there other people in the room too?
Yeah, in the background.
Yeah.
They kept their space though, luckily.
Yeah. What did you guys notice?
Seems a little intense, like, would you say they're all that, like, intense, you know? Like, or is there some that are just more peaceful than others? Well, I mean, like, are, like, is it always, like, I don't know, is there just some that's like, oh, that was a little bit more peaceful than what we're used to? Or quick?
I mean the whole labor, the whole contraction thing that she was having.
Yeah.
You saw that it was more peaceful. You saw that it was more peaceful, so the question is it, are there some that are more loud than that?
No, actually, I was thinking calmer.
Oh, calmer! Oh, okay. Guess what? Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's actually interesting because I was noticing, was it last week, we had a mom and she just was screaming because that's just how she dealt with it. And for us, it was like, because we're used to women being more calm.
In control.
In control, yes. And so it was just kind of like, okay. Of course we know it's painful and we know, that's just how she copes with it.
Yeah.
And there's not like a right way or a wrong way. It's whatever works for you. So yes. And that's why we have in this class that you know that your body can do it and you are in control. And there are times you lose that control, and that's why we have the coaches and the midwives that will help you regain back your control, that you can do it.
That's cool.
Yeah. You, Andrew?
Yeah, there was quite a bit of pain. It seemed pretty intense. The dad seemed pretty involved. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. And of course, birth is not just 5 minutes. It's just, I was looking for a lot of videos and I'm like, oh, which one should I show? But I think that kind of just summarizes. Of course, that was more from the active phase. I remember the active phase is when it's opening more from the 4, let's say the 4 to the, am I having it right? It doesn't,
Yeah,
from 4 to like 8. So that's more what it showed, and then to the pushing out of the baby, which means it opened all the way to 10 and then the baby came out. So they didn't show all of this part, and of course they only showed us little clips of this other part. So of course labor is not 5 minutes, right? It was more longer than that. It's just snapshot. So today we'll go over the pushing positions, and also we'll go over all of our classes actually, because we're rounding off. And then we will do our last class today, which is breastfeeding. And we'll try to do all of this in 2 hours. You think you can do it? Yes. Without rushing, because it's our last time, so we want to really enjoy today. Do any of you have to do you have an appointment after this? So that I could keep that in mind, so that we really just make it.
I have an appointment with my pillow.
I like that. Okay, yes, we don't want. Yeah, but breastfeeding is exciting, so I think you'll be excited about that class. But we'll try to make it 2 hours. So let's start from our first class, and then we'll go to pushing, and then we'll do breastfeeding. Our first class was, who remembers what our first class was?
Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, right? Stage 1 is contractions, 2 is birth.
That was our second class.
What's that?
Our first class.
Why did you stop me from talking?
No, but that was good.
Confident. Just let you know.
What was our first class about then if that wasn't the first?
A birth.
Oh, birth. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, plan.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh dang, I'm done.
It's like, everything is just kind of like all connected, you know.
We just learned so much.
Yeah. What do you guys remember about that class? Anyone? Birth class.
got us thinking about having a birth plan. I know that.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it makes you think about like really what you want, but also prepares you for like what you want now. You might not want when you're in labor,
Yes.
type of thing.
And then also everyone's on the same page.
Yes.
Yes, and that's the whole reason why you want to have one. Or you at least want to think about it and talk about it together. Yeah. Anything from you guys? Are you on the same page with what we said? Yeah. All in agreement, say hi. Okay, moving on to the second class. What was the second
I
class?
don't remember.
It was said already, stages of labor. Anything that stood out to you guys in the stages of labor?
The first stage is contractions. Second stage is pushing the baby out.
Yeah.
Third stage is placement.
Woohoo! Look at
Wow.
you, just got an A+.
That's awesome.
That was good. That was good. And how do you recognize the first stage? Like, what does the first stage? Oh, you just said contractions.
Yeah.
So the first stage is divided into 3 phases. Does anyone remember what those 3 phases are?
1 to 4. 1 to 4.
1 to 3.
1 to 3.
3 to 7, and then 7.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right.
I don't know.
You are right.
1 to 4.
I was thinking of something else. Yes. Because the phases are how you dilate. Yeah. So it's from 0 or 1, whatever, to 4. You're right. And the second, I think they say 1 to 3, but you know, it's not like they'll check and they'll be like, you're 3 now. You're done with this one. No. It's usually
stage 2.
Not on stage 2. Not really. It's usually, but you're right, that's how medically, when we study, that's how we're taught. But usually when you watch a lady, when she's like, oh, my contraction started, and her face is like this.
That's stage 1.
I like that. She's stage 1 for sure, and she's in early labor, correct? And when she's like, oh, hold on, and they're breathing, they're for sure in what?
Stage 2.
Stage 2. And when
And then when they're not
I
talking to
cannot do
you,
it, I cannot do it, stop, I really need to go. What stage are they?
Stage 3.
Yeah, phase 3, so the phase is in stage 1, correct? Does it make sense? Questions about that? Yeah, so usually it's just by looking at women, we just kind of know. But also to just know that inside of them, this is what's happening. The cervix is opening up more. We all remember what the cervix is, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Inside the vagina.
Yes. And that's what needs to open all the way for baby to come out, correct?
Yes.
Any questions? No. And then our third class, which was kind of like more intertwined into the stages, what was it about?
The third class?
Distractions.
Distractions.
And massage.
Our partner
It's
can
mostly
help.
about us, men.
Yeah. So tell me, how can you guys stay strong and help your women through this, like you guys do it together?
Provide distractions like a spider or a snake.
I just move them without provide distractions, right?
and do what she
Says.
yeah.
What she wants, because
Yeah.
she's really, going through all of this and whatever way you can help. And we'll actually go into this today, how you can help. There's other things you can do. Because during labor, it's amazing, because women, you are like cold, because they're like, I'm hot, and then you turn on the fan, and you all are like cold, and putting on a jacket, and you turn on the fan for them, and then they're like, I'm hot now, and then you turn it off. So because they are working, you all like feel okay, and they're like sweating, because they're really actually doing work, like a lot of work. So we really want to cater to our women during labor. So blankets, we have blankets here if you come in here. Blankets, a fan, cold wash rag for their face, to wipe their face, and stuff like that. And water, because they're breathing a lot, so they'll be losing a lot of water. Yeah. And then the class last week, what was it about?
Wasn't that the third class?
I know, right? It is the third class. The second class, we kind of like had 2 different ones. We did stages, and then we did how the partners can help. And then last week was really the third class. Third class, you're correct.
Distractions.
No.
That's when we like did all the stuff on the floor and like the movement.
Oh, that's right.
Does anything stood out to you, any of it that you feel like you might use in labor or that you like?
Swing.
I like the whole neck down thing. And I remember you hated that.
He has the warmest hands ever, so I'm like, I don't want that when I'm already warm.
Oh.
I really liked the when
The
he had
ball.
like his hand on my tailbone and then like pressed on one of the hips or like both of the hip compressions.
Yeah, the hips
I like
squeeze
those.
and say
Yeah.
compress. Good, good.
What was the other one?
The ball.
That was good.
And the ball.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
What did you do with the ball?
When we
No,
sat
but-
on it.
No, the sock in the ball.
Oh, yeah.
You like that type of massage.
That, yeah. But it was also nice sitting on that when he was doing the
Yes.
Yeah.
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 I'll tell you about the birth I was at yesterday. The mom just it was a second baby, and of course, second baby goes faster, so. But she was really breathing well, and I want to show you guys what she was doing. When the contraction comes, she just internalize it, and she starts breathing, and she what's the word? She goes like this. I'll just demonstrate. I don't think you could see what I did. I just like, what is it called? We don't have words for it. And we'll learn that in labor today, in pushing today. When you are like a letter C, it helps bring your baby. It helps make your contractions count. So usually when we're sitting down, listen, this is our pelvis. When you're coiled like this, your pelvis is more like this. And so when people look at the pelvis, you think that it's just like the baby will fall out. And of course, no baby will fall out because it just doesn't happen that way. The babies, because they actually do this maneuver. It's called the seven maneuvers babies do. They go in, and then they have to actually rotate when they're inside, or I think it's when their head comes out. So they're going with their head like this. And when their head comes out, then they have to rotate and then come out. I don't think I'm doing it the right way, but whichever way, they rotate inside here. But then you see this bone here, you see that it's a little like a C shape. And so because it's like a C shape, when you align your body like this, when you're breathing in, it actually makes your contractions count. It helps the baby's head apply more to the cervix, which of course depends on how your cervix is tilted, and just makes the baby maneuver better. So I don't know if it makes sense what I'm trying to say. By the end of this class, I think it will make more sense. But just thinking of coiling like this.
Oh, like
helps.
rounding out your back. kind of.
Yes. It helps with the baby's position. Let's try doing some things. I had a video I was going to show you. Oh, let me show you from here first. So you see how she is right here? You see the baby? Now you see when she has her legs down. You see how this bone right here in front, and the bone at the back, how they are more like this. But when she pushes, when she holds her legs up, it aligns more. When I say align, look at the arrow here, it's more oblique, and look at here, it looks more straight. So it helps the baby to come out in easier, better way.
Yeah.
It's a bit complicated, but if you could just imagine.
It's more of like a straight stretch for the baby.
Yes. And it's more like you're squatting on your back. So that's one of the biggest positions women do when they give birth, because it just helps them on their back when they are like this. So you see she's like a C. Can you see that? That she's like a C. And that helps this pelvic bone to move forward and for the baby to come out better. If the baby is here, that means the baby has to go down and back up and then come down. But when the baby is here, of course the baby starts to make the rotation, but it's more like, it's right here, and then they come out. Let me know if it makes any sense. Does it make a little bit of sense?
No, it makes sense.
When you squat, a lot of people also try pushing while they squat like this. But the thing is, your legs could get tired, and so a lot of people, they would rather just be on their back, because then they're tired by the time they get to pushing. So they would rather stay on their back. And usually with us, we'll have someone hold the first leg, we'll have someone else hold the second leg for them, and then we'll have the husband be by their back and have them push, and bring their head more towards the front, so they're more in like that C shape. So it helps. It does really help in pushing. Really helps in pushing. Other things that you could think about is this. I just took a picture from Google. Squatting, the same thing, but then it's like you're squatting on the bed when you have that shaped.
Maybe still C shape.
Yes, you're still on that C shaped. Another one is sitting on a stool. This is an old stool. Of course, this one is so much more longer, and it's the same thing. And we would try all of this time. Oops. Usually we'll have them on seat, and we'll have the dad at the back, and just the same thing. We'll have them have their legs like this, and then they'll just push, and it makes it count. It helps with the pressure. I want you guys to think about to imagine you guys being constipated, and then you're trying to push out the worst poop ever. Like you're putting all that pressure down there for that poop to come out.
I can imagine that.
Yeah, and really that's what's happening. Oh, it feels like that's what's happening. And a lot of moms poop when they're giving birth, because the pressure is on the rectum, then the baby comes out. So on the birth stool, and usually your midwives will tell you if they, what positions they think would help. They will try all different ones. And also sometimes we change positions if the baby is not doing well at one position, because sometimes the baby's cord can be, so when the baby is coming down, sometimes the baby's head is on the cord, and so it pinches on it. And of course, the cord gives the baby nutrient and oxygen. And so when we listen, we hear that the baby is not doing very good, so we'll have you turn to the other side, so that the pressure of the baby's head is not on the cord. So just all those different things we are thinking about when we are changing different positions for pushing. So a lot of women like this, but this position is not the best when we try to hold and help them to prevent them from tearing. Because we try to hold, I don't know if I've showed you before, that we hold the top and bottom.
Yes.
You remember?
Yeah.
We hold the top and bottom like this so they don't tear, and another person holds this. Because if you don't, and the baby's head comes out, babies are usually tucked like this inside, like this inside, and when they come out, usually they're like that too. But if no one is holding this, you could tear like really bad, So the head is coming, it's coming, and we're holding here. It's coming, we're holding. But if you're not holding, the baby can just suddenly go like this, and then you tear into your, oh my goodness. When you pee, that thing stings so bad. But, we try. Sometimes you tear, sometimes you don't tear. But it's better if you tear this way than up here, because that just really stings anytime you have to pee. And of course, we saw it if that happens. But we will start telling you the things in your appointments that you can do to prevent tearing. And you can also research about it, right? Yeah. So anyways, we hold this Oh yeah, I was like, why am I sharing this? So when you're in this position, it's hard to hold you like that. That's why also when you're back on your bed and you're in this squatting position, and I will show you. We're all gonna practice this, okay? I'm being the guinea pig right now. Okay. So on the bed, you're doing the same thing, and you're open like this, and you have to bring your head like this because it helps with the pressure going down when you bring your head up. A lot of men bring it down, and they see that it doesn't really. I mean, you will get there, right? But if you're not, you want each contraction to count when you're pushing. So you go like this. You hold your breath, you take a deep breath. You hold it, then you push down, and people will count 1 to 10 for you. Sometimes you can hold your breath to 10, sometimes you can. And we'll just count until however long you can hold your breath. What are you guys thinking? What's good? I love the face of the lady. It's like, what? Let's practice. Come on, let's practice. Like, what's going on? Kelsey, you guys can use this. Okay. And I'll grab one for.
Is there a way, like, when if you're doing that on the bed, where like you could be like more propped up so gravity would kind of? Because I've heard that like gravity kind of helps, like, you know.
Yeah. We use lots of pillows. But usually when you're on your back, someone is probably helping you with your head because you're probably too tired to hold it. But some women, they're not. They just do it. Remember that lady I shared with you? We're going to cut her. The episode.
Yeah, he was like, oh, heck no.
Oh, yeah. And she just
yeah.
like, yeah. That was the exact thing she did. Yeah. So I feel like you have to practice to really understand what I'm talking about. Let me grab you guys pillows too.
What? No, pillows. Just put your feet up. You got pillows here.
Oh, okay.
So the pillows is where the dads are, because usually you are at their back or by their sides. I'm actually not with the pillow. And what you're doing is...
Oh gosh.
So I want you ladies to try going in this position. This number here position.
It might be too propped up.
Alright, see.
Hold up there, sugar. Well, you want to hold here or even underneath.
So sometimes that can help like that, but sometimes it cannot. So one of us would usually be here and help hold your leg out like this.
Oh, out more?
Yeah, out more.
More
The
open.
more open, the better. Okay. So sometimes
It'd be easier without jeans on.
I know.
See, girl.
Like this, yeah, you got it
There you
right.
go.
Like
This
that.
is fine, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. And someone else can hold my legs.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes.
could hold this leg, you're not holding the other.
Yeah.
And
So-
the bed will become
Oh,
here.
man.
Yeah. So let's try taking in a deep breath, and I want you guys to count 1 to 10 for them, and I want you guys to push. But you don't have to like really practice. Yeah. I just want you to try to feel the pressure when you. Let's do 2 different things. We'll do it the right way and the wrong way. So I want you to breathe, to take in a deep breath, and hold it and push down as long as you can.
Right?
Yeah, with your legs up, and we'll count 1 to 10. Oh, you want to help her with that, and I will help her with this. Just a little bit.
Just do whatever you
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Deep breath, and push down.
I think they should do this with us.
Okay. You
Trust
ready?
me, you don't want me to push right now.
Here, you gotta get propped up.
Okay.
Oh.
We're gonna wait for Holly. She's getting.
I want to put one under my lower back.
This is my resting point until the next scoop.
Are you ready?
Could happen.
Right?
You ready? Let's do it. Let's try counting 1 to 5 first. And then you take a deep breath and then you go again, okay? So let's try it again. Ready? Take a deep breath and push. And 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job. 6. Take it. Sorry, I can't count it. I should really count it 10, but. One more time. Ready?
We're gonna be pros up.
I was helping you.
Ready? Deep breath and go. 2, 3, 4. Down there. 5, 6, 7, 8. That means that one. Okay, then you take another deep breath and go again. Go, go,
Okay.
go, go. Deep breath and 1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh,
5,
In your face.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Deep breath and relax. How was that? I know it doesn't feel like you're pushing anything right now, but just muscle memory also helps. Because then when you are asked to do this, you're like, oh, I know this. Do you guys want me to bring the fan?
no, it's okay.
You sure?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll be fine.
Let's try this stool too. So we're not going to practice. It's Kelsey and Gordon want to practice first. And then I'll have you sit at her back. And she will try pushing her way too. How are you women doing?
Oh, where am I going? Oh, okay.
Just like that. Good job with your
This is actually comfy.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
When you're ready, then we'll go. And usually when you're at that position, sometimes we need you to lean back. And so the husband is there to like hold
So,
you.
because you'd be like this,
Mhm.
Yeah,
right?
Yes, correct. Like that.
just like that.
Yeah, and in
Oh, this is actually kind of comfy.
yeah.
I just
So ready?
No, I'm just kidding.
Does she have to be like in a C?
C-shape helps
Yeah.
all the
So
time.
like this.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes the husband can put their hands in here and just help hold your weight while you push. Ready? 2, go, take a deep breath and go. Push. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. Another deep breath and go again. Push. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If the contraction is there, just rest. If the contraction is there, if the contraction is gone, rest.
Is it like that at the end? Like, it's like bam, 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 bam.
Yes. And then
Do people like rest between
yes.
the contraction
Yes.
though?
Yes.
You want to take
Good
that
job,
right?
holding like that.
Okay.
Don't you feel more comfy when I grab onto you like this?
No. That's too tight. This is good though.
Good job.
Good
What
job.
do you think about that position?
It's comfy.
Okay.
I don't know if I'd want to like give birth on the stool, but like right beforehand maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Just different things I don't like.
Because like the gravity thing.
Yeah, yeah. But also with the gravity, when your baby's coming fast, which I don't think would happen to you guys because it's your first baby, you might tear more because then we cannot hold you very well.
Yeah.
Like we cannot. I mean, one person will do it, but like 2 people can get in there to help hold you well. Yeah. But usually we'll have you push a little bit there, and then we can get on the bed.
Yeah.
On the same thing we just did now. Okay, so you guys, and then we'll try one more thing. I'm sorry, I made this kind of from this before I showed you another position that we're gonna try. It's okay. So you wanna open? Good work. I like that. Are you ready? C-shape. I like that. So it's not necessarily leaning forward. It's actually arching your back and your chin down, and then you take a deep breath and go and push it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Another deep breath and go again. 2, 3, 4, a little bit?
Well, for like being able to hold my breath for a longer amount of time. Or
Yes.
whatever.
Yes, and sometimes in labor you just tired and you can hold it for 10 seconds, that way counting. It will walk with you. If you can hold it until 7, it will count there and then. We don't want you to release. Let me show you what happens when you release. So especially when we're starting to see the head, let me stay here where everyone can see me. When you're really pushing, we can see the head like coming out like this, like that. But when you let out that breath, nothing is happening down here. If you're not doing good pushing, sometimes you're just pushing with your face, and your face is just all red. And sometimes you even blow blood vessels in your eyes because you're pushing some people just push on their chest. Try pushing just with your chest. Like push into your chest. Now try pushing down there where you feel like you're pooping. Ready? 1 to go. Can you feel? Mm-hmm. Can you feel something different down there? And that's how one person might pass gas. So let's
You passed gas?
No, someone might.
Pass gas. So let's not push too hard.
Hey, I got a question.
Yes.
So how long does that process, once you see like the head coming, right? How long should that actually take once the baby's all the way out? Like, is there like a point where you guys are like, oh, this is not happening, we gotta cut you, or?
Good question. I think I have an estimate on the faces. So let me go back there because I don't remember it on the top of my head.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be hard to get my legs like that.
We've had moms push for 4 hours before. Like just pushing.
And
But
you
usually
can see
the
the
head
head
is
the whole
not.
time?
No.
Oh.
Usually you can see like a tiny little bit.
Yeah, you have to actually look.
Where is it? You actually just see maybe. So you guys that are outside, you only see this little part.
So someone could stay like that for like 4 hours, you said?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe because they don't know how to push or just,
Yeah.
their body, baby has never done it before, your body has never done this before, so
Okay.
it could just be there. But it doesn't stay there, it keeps trying to come down a little bit and stretch you a little bit. Little, until you see more. But this is not like a 5-minute thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that video was just like 2 seconds.
I know, that's not, it might be a second maybe or a third maybe, because then your body is used to that. And
Yeah.
it just does it. Yeah,
Okay.
on your first usually it could take even up to 4. Some people do it in 2, some in an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, because your baby is stretching you
Kristen
too.
did it in like 15 minutes.
For first?
Second.
Yeah.
I
I
have a
don't know
friend.
how long it took her at first. That's what I could.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't want to panic either, and I'm sure she doesn't, so that's kind of a good question to know, because I didn't know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I know there was a first time that took 4 hours, but she got there.
Yeah.
I remember even Charlotte said with that first, she went to the hospital because she didn't know any better, and they told her you can't do it because she was 16 too. They're like, you can't do it, and she's like, she just kind of blocked them all out, and she was like, I'll do this, I'm doing it. And she said she focused, and there was a picture in the room that she just kept focusing on that picture, and she did it. She
I would
said,
have focused on that doctor so that I couldn't do it.
yeah, and she did it. So your body, there are even women that have coma, like they're not like conscious, and they still push their baby out. So even if you're not conscious, you'll do it. Your body will do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's practice one more other way that you can push, and then we'll go to today's topic. I was going to go to stages of labor. Let's see, transition. So here they say 30 minutes to 2 hours, but that's on average, whether it's your first, your second, your third. But I know there have been people that push for 4. Yeah.
Okay.
So don't panic. And if it's a problem, the midwives will be the first one to tell you, I think we should go in. And that's why I would ask you with your birth preference, because we actually ask these questions during your prenatals, that would you like us only to take you to the hospital if it's medically needed? So if it's medically needed, we'll be the first one making the call. Yeah. So we will never put your life in danger or your baby's life in danger because we want a healthy baby and a healthy mom.
Yes.
Yeah. But you can do it. So don't ever think you cannot do it. Let me hear you say, I can do it.
I can do it.
She
We
can
can do it. We can do this, right? Okay. So one more position. I don't have a picture of it. Do I? Oh, I did. I do. It's just this little one. This one right here. It's another good way of pushing, and it just opens up the pelvis. Remember, with pushing, you really want to just really open up, like really open up. And it's good that you try these exercises or these positions when you are home, like 3 times a week. Try relaxing, try breathing, because when it comes to it, just your muscle memory, your muscle knowing that this is how I do it. Yeah, you're trained. It's like if you're not thinking about eating your food, you will still pick up or no matter how tired you are, if you have to eat, you still pick up your spoon and eat, right? Even if you're not thinking about it. Because it's muscle memory, your body's just used to like that, right? That motion. So same thing, you want your body to get into that. So let's try this position, side lying position. And we'll try to breathe through it.
Because it's comfier.
And trust me, the best is so much better. I know this is hard floor. I'm sorry, ladies.
You don't think you need a pillow, huh? Maybe just one little one?
Yep.
This is perfect.
It's up to you.
Oh,
girl.
wait.
Come on, you can do it, girl. You got this.
Good question. Dr. Bradley says the best when you align your body. May I touch your body?
Yes.
Like when he has your leg up like this, and usually someone will be holding it for you because then by then you're too tired to hold it.
Totally.
We would move your other leg here so that it's kind of like you're squatting again. So every time, every position we get you to, we're kind of thinking of that you're squatting, doing that C shape. So when you're pushing, what are you doing? You are arching your back and pulling your chin forward. Correct.
So you always want
Just
to be in
like
the
that.
C.
Yes. Yes.
See? That's what I'm
I was
doing.
thinking of
Give me
the
the C.
ocean.
Kelsey, good job, because you have your legs
Oh,
up
shit.
like that.
Hey, no
Just
swimming.
like that. So let's practice taking in.
Oh, I thought you said oh shit.
No.
So let's practice breathing. You ready?
Come on, girl.
Hold my leg more. You gotta hold my leg. Good.
Damn.
So that's your holding the legs.
Is that comfortable to you?
Yeah, maybe not so much this way, but like,
Oh, you want it up high?
Yeah,
Like that?
like that's better.
I don't know how.
Yeah, and sometimes you even hold from here. I mean, not like you have to come here, like we really just support that.
You're so
But I'm
sorry.
really, I'm
That's
relaxed.
good. Sorry,
I'm
all the
relaxed.
We're
exercise.
pushing, we're not relaxing.
You ready? Taking a deep breath.
No.
Are you ready? One. Kelsey, let me know when you're ready.
Stop
I'm
laughing.
ready.
This is serious.
I'm so sorry.
1, 2, and deep breath. Let me hear you take a deep breath, guys. Let's do it again. 1, 2, and take a deep breath. And hold it and go. Push on. 3, 4, 6, 8, 10. Good job. You let that out. Let's do another one. Ready? Taking a deep breath. Let me hear you taking a deep breath. And hold it and push down. 2, 3, 4, 8, 10, and release. Good work. It's all work. And this is one big thing I do want to share though, that when you're pushing like that, usually you could take in like 2, even maybe 3 breaths during a contraction, because by that it's getting longer, stronger, and of course closer together. And sometimes your uterus is tired and it would give you rest, like it wouldn't be like on top of each other while you're pushing, especially when you're pushing for long and it's your first baby. Kelsey, good job. And Holly. I know it's not comfy. So we sometimes tell you when you're taking that deep breath, because I see you guys, you're breathing out and you're taking a break and then we're doing it again. But we'll actually have you do it like as fast as possible. Because the head is coming and you're pushing and it's pushing the baby out. But when you let out your hair, the baby comes back up.
So you want it
So
to
you
just
wanna-
be a
yeah.
steady.
Yeah, you want to keep that pressure there. So even when you release that first, when you breathe out the first time, we have you do it fast. I mean, like taking that deep breath faster. Let me do what I'm trying to say. So I'm going like this, a deep breath, and I'm pushing down. And this is the end of that one. Like I cannot hold my breath anymore. So we're like, go again, quick, and you're like, and you bend down again, and you kind of keep that pressure there, and you go again. And you push that pressure down. So that's what you're doing. And we'll be showing you all of this again. So let's try that. You ready? We'll try to do two in a row.
So just keep the baby down there.
Yes, we want to keep that pressure down there, okay? Ready? Taking a deep breath. A deep one and go. 3, 4, 6, 8, 10. Release. And go again, quick. And good job. I see you do it. 8, 10. How was that? Should we practice one more time?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Ready? A deep breath. And hold it. And push down. 2, 3, 8, 10. Another deep breath. And go again. 2, 3, 8, 10. Release. Another deep breath if it's still there. And go again. 2, 3, 8, 10. Oh, good job. I'm so proud of you guys.
The baby's like, I'm not ready yet.
Don't push me out. I wish they come out like that. They don't. Your cervix is probably all closed, like all shut down. Nothing is going in here. It's all closed. How was that, guys?
It wasn't bad.
Yeah. And you can also still, watch videos online and read more stuff on how. And we would also be directing you. But usually these are usually the 3 sides. We'll have you try on one side, we'll have you turn to the other side and try, we'll have you do this, we'll have you do when you're almost like sitting down and squatting, and those things usually your baby will come out one way or the other. Yeah.
And you guys always prefer the husbands to stay behind for support?
Oh, sometimes we do it too.
Yeah.
If she's like, no, I don't want him to, or maybe you're like tired and passed out. Yeah. Usually we have at least 3 people in your birth.
Yeah.
So, and we're all there to do whatever. But we know this is very special for you guys, and you want to be, at the end of a birth, moms are very attached to the person that helped them the most. They're like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And we want that bond. It's an intimate, vulnerable time. We want it to be with your husband. But of course, if they're tired, that's why we're there, and we would help too. Yeah. Did I answer your question? Did you answer your question?
Yeah, I was just wondering, like...
So if you wanted to catch the baby once the head comes out, that's when you would have them come around.
Oh, good question.
Is that what you're wondering about?
And also just this kind of, I don't know, maybe stay out of the way?
Okay, and we will tell you usually.
Yeah.
Usually we don't tell that to move out of our way. We're like, oh, can we please? Because
Yeah, I
it's
saw that
so
video
fun.
the lady had a mirror and actually was like just
Yeah.
checking, doing her job, but at the same time kind of keeping her distance.
Yes,
you know?
yes,
So,
and usually we'll do this.
Yeah.
And you just have to communicate. Remember that birth threat when you're being asked, you're like, I want you guys to be more, in the background. But usually we are more in the background.
yeah, I was just
Yes, we want to respect that intimate time of you guys together. So hopefully these are good tips to help with pushing. I do want to touch on some, let's see, it's our next slide. I was reading the Bradley method a little bit last night. Have you guys heard about the Bradley method? Yes. Great. And it has I think it's 5 or 6 different things that it said every woman needs in labor. The first is controlled breathing. Why do you think controlled breathing is good?
Helping you get
For the baby and for her
Yes.
to have oxygen.
You don't want to run away from it
Or-
because you still have to do it. And every contractions that you do is one less contraction you have to do, correct? Another thing is physical relaxation. We want pillows, we want, if she's hot, if she's cold, we want to cater to that. A lot of moms, just because they're moms, you know, we are made to nurture and care about people and not burden them. And so when you're like, oh, I'm hot, and if the husband is like, could I grab you a blanket, you're thinking about them and you're like, oh, they're probably tired. And you're like, no, don't worry. You guys go grab a blanket. They need it. You want to cater to everything they say because they're really, really working hard. When they're cold, you want to grab a compress, a cold washcloth, which we always provide. And if you're staying home, of course, you'll have like a washcloth. And we can wipe your face with that, we can turn on the fan. So we always want to make you as comfortable as possible because that helps your labor go well too. So anything that relaxes you, we want to be doing that, right? Coaches, daddies are the coaches, so you're the one I'm talking to when I say coaches. Comfort, whatever clothes they like, if they want socks, if they don't want socks, they want their hair up, they don't want it up, whatever they ask, we want to be attending to those things. They want the music on, they want it off now, they want you to switch off the light, they want it on, anything and everything, right? Confidence. One of the ways to build confidence is taking a class, and I think you guys are on the right path because you're both knowing what's going on. I think there can be a fear of the unknown, but now you are getting to know what can happen and what would happen, and so you are building your confidence in birth that you can do it. You're made to do it, and even if you're unconscious, you will do it. You will do it. Some people like dark rooms, some don't. So it's not like your room have to be dark. No, it's just whatever works for you. Charlotte likes bright rooms because she feels like it's like a dungeon or she's alone if they turn on the light. And some other people, they're like, no, I want it more quiet and I want all the lights on. I mean, the lights dimmed and candles and, you know. So it's whatever you want. It's your birth. Whatever will make you feel comfortable. That reminds me of something. I was thinking about the other person you want at the birth. So if you guys can imagine, if you're stuck up in an elevator and you're pooping, who would you be comfortable to be stuck in the elevator with you?
While pooping?
Yeah. I already know that question, like my brain, like I know.
You know who you'd do that with?
Yeah.
So
Me?
Huh?
Me and who? Cooper? Just kidding. Our dog, Cooper.
So is that person, is
Him
that
and my mom.
good?
Yeah.
Is that person that you want to be at your birth? Because the last thing you want to do is to be thinking about someone else. Oh, how did they feel that this is happening to me? Or should I be performing? No, like you don't want to be worrying about that. So do not choose someone that will come to your birth and you don't feel comfortable with them. Or you don't feel comfortable with, if you're pooping, you will feel weird.
I'll bring my dad.
Does it give like more a mental picture? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that brings me to our topic for today. Any questions from all of our last classes? Okay. I'm also trying to scan through my little notes. Okay, today's breastfeeding. How many of you are excited about breastfeeding?
I'm excited.
Yes, breastfeeding is great. It's amazing. I'm like, how can we make milk? I love this Bible verse. Could someone read it, please?
Can a mother forget the baby at her breast and have no compassion on the child she has born? Though she may forget, I will not forget you.
Isn't that comforting? Like, it baffles me. I'm like, there's no way. If I go through all of that for my baby, I will forget my baby. Like, no. But God is saying, even though she might forget, I will not forget you. So even during labor, even though you feel like you can't do it, and tell me again, when she says she cannot do it, what does that mean?
She's close.
Yeah.
She's close, and that's what I want you dads to think about, because usually dads can fall into the trap of, oh, she cannot do it. Do you guys have a medication you give them? Did I tell your dad asked me that? Do you guys give them like a drug? No, don't. I, of course, I didn't say that. I was like, no, we don't. But she'll make it. It means she's getting close. So when she feels she cannot do it, is when it means she's getting close. So we can do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can do it. Breastfeeding is the most natural way to feed your baby, of course, right? It provides all the nutrients your baby needs in the first 6 months of life. It satisfies their hunger and thirst at the same time. Gordon, can you see? Or am I in your way?
Right? No, you're good.
Okay.
You're doing a good job.
Okay, thank you. It also contains other substances that boost baby's immune defenses. So your baby actually gets all your antibodies, it gets all the stuff that makes them strong. And that's why we're like, it's great for you to birth in your home because it's your germs and your baby's used to your germs. It's immune to your germs. So babies have everything. You don't even need to give them water because it has everything they need in the breast milk. Benefits of breastfeeding. Of course, it's convenient, and it's cheap, and it's always available. I like that. I don't have to pay for it, right? Of course, it contains all the nutrients your baby needs, especially in the first 6 months of life. It satisfies their hunger and thirst at the same time. It helps develop their jaw. Of course, it strengthens the immune system. It helps them resist infection and disease, even later in life. There are a lot of studies that they've done, and they see that breastfed babies and bottle-fed or what's the formula fed, thank you. That those that are more breastfed, they have more healthy life than those that have formula. It was interesting. I was watching a video, and a mom took a microscope and was looking at her breast milk, and it has all this live great stuff. And then she was looking at formula, and it's like very few. It's like, okay, now I see why this is so much better than formula feeding. And of course, it reduces the risk of obesity in childhood and later in life. So it just has all the balance, all the nutrients in balanced proportion. Isn't God great? Like, how can He do that? It's just amazing.
Yes.
It's amazing. Any questions on this slide?
Not on this slide, but in general, which you'll probably talk about it later, but just what are things that we can do to promote, because I've heard like some people have a hard time like breastfeeding, so to promote like them making milk and working right.
Yes, and we'll get there. We get to the tips of how you can increase your supply and how you can build your supply and maintain it. Thanks for that, honey. So benefits of breastfeeding for mom. It reduces the risk of hemorrhage. Hemorrhage is when you bleed after you have the baby. And so usually when your baby comes out, we usually put it on you. And soon after, they try to start to nurse and breastfeed, because this is very important when the baby comes out that they breastfeed. Not like the second they come out, but after we dry them off and they're crying and everything, they usually latch on and start to breastfeed. So it helps, when that happens, it helps you to contract, for your uterus to contract and go down and close all those blood vessels. If you guys remember, from where the placenta, it even helps the placenta to come out because your uterus contracts and pushes distance out. And also it helps your uterus to also clamp down, just like when you're bleeding and you put a pressure And that's what the baby nursing releases oxytocin, and oxytocin makes you contract. So it helps prevent bleeding. So a lot of people would say, if you're bleeding, they're like, have that baby nurse, as soon as possible, and it would help. It will help prevent that. It's good that your baby starts to breastfeed as soon as possible. It helps your, just the same thing I just said, it helps your uterus climb down. It reduces your risk of breast and ovarian cancer. Studies have proved that.
Wow.
It also prolongs the amount of time before you get your period back. It's amazing because when you're breastfeeding, usually you don't get your period back, especially for the first 6 weeks. But because we are all different, some people do, some people don't. And so you will hear a lot of people that say exclusive breastfeeding at least 8 to 10 times a day would prevent your period from coming back. So it can also serve as a birth control method. But of course, you need to know, you need to understand your body. If your body is like this, then it works for some people, it doesn't work for some people. So you just need to see.
So, I thought that after you have your baby, I thought you bleed for a month.
Yeah.
That's different than your period?
Yeah, that's different from your period. It's just your uterus healing.
Oh.
Yeah.
So is it as much blood as a period or worse?
Usually the first day after you have the baby, or when you have the baby today, the first 24 hours, it's as heavy as your first day of period. And usually it lessens until it stops.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so would you bleed for 4 weeks then, and then 6 weeks later you'd get a period? Or
Good question. It depends. Some people do, some people don't. Because breastfeeding, the way breastfeeding works, because it actually starts from our brain, the way all the hormones works, it turns off the hormone that help you ovulate. So then you don't ovulate, and of course if you don't ovulate, then there's no period.
Okay.
Yeah, but that bleeding that comes out is just from your uterus. It's like all the blood vessels are open, and so as you breastfeed and as your body heals, it closes and heals all the way. It's almost like it's a bruise. It's an open bruise. You will bleed a little bit. You bleed more when you have that big bruise, and then it starts to heal, and then you don't bleed as much, and then it heals all the way, and then you stop bleeding from it. But it's not your period. It's just your uterus, because it's hot there. It's like this big one in your tummy, so it's healing, and then the bleeding is lessened every day as it heals, and then you stop. It just stops when everything is healed inside.
Okay.
Yeah. And on average, it's from 4 to 8 weeks that women bleed from their uterus healing from birth.
Oh, it can go even longer than 4 weeks?
Some people 6 weeks or 8 weeks. So it depends. And that's why we say rest, rest, rest. A lot of people see that when they're not resting enough, then it comes back like they have more bleeding instead of less bleeding. And it's just like, because you have this big one, I want you to imagine with me, you have this big one, and then you're moving, and so all the what do we call it, fibrinogen, it's like elastic that is built on it to heal it. You're not making it stay. It's almost like you put a bandage on something and you kept removing the bandage.
Like picking a scab
Yeah,
kind of.
thank you. And so it will just keep bleeding. So if you rest well and you're not doing too much, it will heal faster. Then and also our body is different. Some people's body heal faster, some takes longer. Yeah, but it's 4 to 8 weeks is the ranges. And some people, they don't see it after 2 weeks, it just stops.
Oh wow.
And some people it takes longer. Yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the question.
Thanks for answering.
Okay. Colostrum. I don't know if you guys have already, you're starting to see colostrum. Some people start early to see little milk coming out. And it's called colostrum. This is colostrum, it's thick and it's yellow.
Liquid gold.
Liquid gold! Yes! liquid gold, that's what they call it because it's so beneficial for your baby. Like it's so good for your baby. It has all the things they need at that first 3 days. It's thick and maybe yellowish in color. It's very rich in protein and antibodies. They're the ones that fight for your baby. It's kind of like a vaccine, but it's our natural body makes it. And it helps give your baby a great start in life. It ranges for about 3 days, for about 3 or more days before your milk comes in. And this is enough for your baby. And we'll get there soon. So can you see the difference between colostrum and breast milk?
Yeah, it's basically telling me that there's the same amount of nutrients, but
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes. Isn't that amazing?
that's
Thank you for bringing that out.
Yeah, that's
It's amazing.
that is definitely gold.
For sure. It's like concentrated nutrient. So this is a big thing that we really need to know. When you breastfeed, especially when your milk comes in, we say your milk comes in about from 3 days to like the first week, your milk comes in, which means your real milk comes in, colostrum stops. And it's divided into 2. When your milk first comes in, you have something called the foremilk, which is the first one your baby gets. And by the end of a feeding, usually the hind milk, which is more mature and it has more fat in it, fat content in it, comes in. So that's why it's important to have your baby finish breastfeeding on one side, like until your breast feels empty. Burp them and then you put them on the other side. Would anyone like to read formula for us? Go ahead, Andrew. Or you were saying something?
Mature breast milk. The milk available when your baby starts to feed. Watery part of the milk has a high lactose content and less fat.
Straightforward, right?
So how do you know that your breast feels empty? Like you'll just know that it feels empty?
Yeah. You just feel it like, oh, this is heavy. Okay, this is empty. Yeah. Or nothing else will come out of it.
Oh.
And by the way, I was gonna have this and I forgot to. I was gonna put anatomy of the breast. So our breast is made up of fat. Some people carry their fat there, so they have bigger breasts, and people don't carry their fat in their breast, so they have smaller breasts. So it's just the fat content and where you carry your fat. So that's the bigger composition of what makes up the breast tissue. And then of course it has all these ducts. And I think I have a picture later on, to show you of all the ducts that carries the milk. And it's interesting, if you've never given birth, a woman's body has never fully, maybe not accomplished, but done everything it can do.
Okay.
If that makes sense,
Yeah.
you could do this much, but if you've never given birth, you never did that. I don't know if it makes sense. Like your body never gets to do that. Yeah, it's amazing. Hind milk, anyone?
The breast milk your baby gets at the end of a feed, high in fat.
Yeah. A lot of, I'm glad we're going through this because a lot of people have problems with their baby gaining weight. And it's because when the baby first latches, they put them first on one. When I say latch is when they suck, right? When they
latch on.
When they latch on the nipple, right? Mm-hmm. So when they start the feed, this comes out first. And because they're not letting the baby empty that breast, and they put the baby on the next one what starts? This starts. And so the baby is only getting all the lactose, all the sugar part. And the baby is not getting the fat content, the fat part of the milk. And so the baby is not gaining as much weight as they should. They're not getting everything they should because we're trying to be like, oh, we're saving the rest for later. But that's not how breastfeeding works. Your body would make more if you empty it. If you don't, it's like, oh, it's just sitting there. Okay, she doesn't need more, so I'm not going to make more. So you want to breastfeed until it's empty. And of course, if they don't want any more, then you can pump. Are you guys planning to get breast pump? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know some insurances even offer them for free. I mean, you've probably paid for it when you've been paying them. But any questions on this?
Well, if you pump, do you like run the risk of like not getting both the kinds of milk? You know, like
No, you actually get everything. Pumping helps you increase your production and maintain it. And we'll get there too, because I wrote down some tips of how you can get more breast milk and maintain it.
Yeah, you were saying that if the baby was feeding and he or she got full too soon,
Okay.
you would want to
Pump the rest
pump
out.
the rest out so then your body will continue to produce more.
Yes. Thank you,
Yeah.
Indra. Did I answer your question, Holly?
yeah, I think so.
Okay. And the more we go into this, the more I think you would understand. So on the first day, how big is the newborn stomach?
Size of a cherry.
Wow, guess what? We actually have a cherry here. So you can actually see.
You have 4?
Are you sharing?
Yeah,
Oh, perfect.
oh, I see. It's like this little. And so that little colostrum, it's okay. Like it is. Hannah, do you mind washing some for them so they can eat? Yes. So they could have some, please. Someone gave it to Charlotte, one of our clients. You know,
I've been
I
wanting
finished that,
cherries.
So you guys can have some.
I'm fine with this one.
Oh, we'll wash more. If you want, you can. If you don't, it's okay. What's there? It's a lot.
Oh my gosh.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
What do you want me to do?
We will put it in the car.
Don't eat it, don't swallow it.
You guys want a cup for the cherry kids?
Anyone, please,
Paper
please
towel?
help yourself.
Yeah, paper towel.
Anyways, day 2.
Day 2. So now we all know how big.
Do you have any walnuts?
Oh, I wish I do, right? So you see how little it is. So when people see the colostrum, they're like, my breast is not making enough milk. But really the baby's stomach is that little, so they don't need that much, right?
It's crazy, it's so small.
So for the colostrum,
Mhm.
should they be pumping then too?
Good question. Usually people are not yet. They let
Oh.
the milk come in and then they start pumping. Yeah. Any other questions? Yes, guys.
So like with the colostrum, like will the baby will the baby stop nursing like when they're full, since like the colostrum is like so nutrient dense?
And the colostrum is not a lot too. It's not a whole lot too.
Okay.
So usually the baby, they know what they want. So when they're done eating, they'll just
They'll be done.
Yeah, they'll just
Okay.
be done. Yeah. And the colostrum is not a lot. But I just want you to realize that even though the colostrum is small and you're like, are they getting it now? Then
Yeah.
your stomach is that little, and usually they won't, come out of the breast when they're done eating. And your body knows how much your baby needs, so your body would produce that much. Especially when they will get to 1 week and 1 month, and how the body grows and how your milk is coming by then, and you're able to supply your baby with what your baby needs. So by day 2, size of a walnut. By 1 week, it's like an apricot, and by 1 month, like a large egg.
That's incredible.
This is another, just the same thing. So they won't look at how much they need.
Oh
Wow.
Wow.
By day 3, double the size, 1 week, and by this time your milk is in already, so you are able to feed your baby. And same thing, look at our stomach is like a cantaloupe, but theirs is like a grapefruit by the time they're like 6 months to 1 year. So
Amazing.
it's amazing. Any questions? Baby feeding. Baby should feed anytime from 8 to 12, 8 to 12 times per day. So if we have a 24-hour day, if your baby is feeding at least 12 times, how often is that? If your baby is feeding 12 times in a 24-hour period, how often is that? Every how many hours?
8 times in a 24-hour period?
Let's say 12.
Oh, 12 times.
2
Around
hours.
2 hours.
Is that a lot? That's a lot. But when they're little, at least you want it to be every 8 to 12 hours. So usually we'll tell you every 2 to 3 hours you should feed your baby. And of course you want them to also eat in the night. So that's why those first 3 days or those first week, you want someone to be with you. Someone to help with laundry, someone to help with food, all of that. Because usually all the mom can do is what? She's recovering herself, is to breastfeed. And we'll get to how that can help too with that process. Okay? We want the baby to have at least 5 wet diapers. Not the first day, of course. Usually we say 1 the first day, 2 the second day, 3 the 4th day, 4 the 4th day. So it correlates with how many days. And usually by the 6 days, they start to make like 6, 5, 6, 5, 6. Sometimes more, because then your milk is in and they're getting more. And then their body, what their body needs is also growing. And of course your body is feeding them, correct? Your body is producing what they need, right? As to a more soft or running bowel movements per day for around the 6 weeks of life, babies have fewer bowel movements once they reach about 6 weeks. It's just the same thing that they need to, you know that they're getting something if they're pooping and peeing, right? You know you're getting something when you poop every day or poop every other day. Same for baby, you want to be sure they are pooping and peeing. Also, they have to be gaining weight, and usually we see you between the 24 to 48 hours after you give birth, and also we see you between the 1st and 2nd week after you give birth, and then we see you at the 6 weeks. But we don't see baby at the 6 weeks, but of course we'd love to see your baby, so still bring your baby to your 6 weeks appointment. But and at this appointment, we're checking their weight and seeing how they're growing. So we want to be sure they're growing. And they, the baby feeding, they are alert and awake, and they are reasonably content when they eat. Any questions on baby feeding?
So the first 6 weeks they're gonna poop more than they will after the 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's why we don't poop 3 times a day. Anyone poop 3 times a day? I like you not to say
I have
yeah, some people do, but it's not like
have
common.
good
Power.
digestive
Yeah,
system.
that's good. But you should know everyone does that. We should probably aim to do it, right? To get there, to cook 3 times a day.
more cherries.
More cherries. Yeah. But babies do. Yeah. And then they have fewer, just like when we grow up. So most people poop once a day or twice a day. Well, some people do 3 because their bodies just really well. Unless you're having diarrhea. Then you do more, right? Any questions on this? Building milk supply. Woohoo! So we're getting to your question. Supply equals demand. The more you feed your baby, the more milk your breast will produce. So if you're not feeding your baby well enough, or if you're not emptying your breast, your body will say, oh, she doesn't need more, so I'm not going to be making more. Offer your breast at night as well as during the day. So it's not just during the day, also at night. Some people make schedules for baby, but it's up to you guys to decide what works best for you. I know some people, as the baby grows more, they will wake the baby more during the day. Because sometimes babies just want to sleep more during the day, and then in the night they are waking up every 2 hours, and you're like, I'm sorry, you can't do this. We need to put you on a schedule. So during the day you can sleep as long as you want. Not sleep. You wake them up, like maybe every 2 hours or every 3 hours, you wake them up to eat. And of course, you just don't wake them up like that. You make them feel uncomfortable. That's how they eat. You don't cuddle them all the way or swaddle them and you're like, eat. They're like, oh, I'm back in the womb, I can sleep, you know? You instead, take out all their clothes, have them be naked, stimulate them, rub their back, and they're like, okay, I'm awake. So usually that's how you wake baby up. So some people do that, so you just say what works best for you. But I know the more you wake them up during the day to eat, the more they sleep in the night. And of course, you don't want them to sleep the whole night. You want to wake them up every 2 to 3 hours in the night to feed. And remember, the more you feed them, the more your body makes more too. Let your baby feed until he or she stops sucking and swallowing. Usually we say baby, when they latch, they suck, they swallow, and then they breathe. So you actually say they suck, then they swallow, and they take a break. And then they suck, they swallow, they breathe. That's actually what they do. They breathe. So she stops, let your baby feed until he or she stops sucking and swallowing, and lets go of your breast. And then offer your second breast, just the same thing. You want them to be done with one breast before you go to the other one. In the beginning, when your baby is learning, because your baby is learning just like you are learning, you're becoming a mother, you're becoming a father, and your baby is becoming a baby. So we are all learning. It's like, let's all learn together, right? they don't have control of their head. And so sometimes they release the sucking. And it's not because they want to, it's just because, I don't know, their head is a distraction. So you have to sometimes help them with their head and hold it in place. And of course, if they really don't want it, they'll stop sucking, right? Any questions with the statement I just made? No. Avoid giving any extra feeds from bottles, as this reduces your baby's need to suck at your breast and reduces your milk supply. Avoid the use of pacifiers. It's up to you. Some people can't take baby crying, and we'll get there. The way baby communicates is to cry. So don't get crazy. Don't feel crazy when they're crying and you're like, I've fed you, I've changed your diapers, I've swaddled you, and you're still crying. That's just how they like talk. It's like they're just trying to talk to you, like, hey, I'm here, like this is different. I feel like sometimes they're making noise because in there they make noise but they can't hear it. But when they're out and they actually make noise, I feel like sometimes they're like, wow, what's that? Like, oh, let me cry more because this is, I don't know, they're learning. So don't make it make you feel crazy. Just welcome it as they're talking to you. Because you're going through so much, especially the women after the birth. Your hormones are like, all over the place. And then when you feel like your baby's crying, you might feel like, am I not doing the best? Why is this baby crying? It's okay for baby to cry. Let me hear you say it's okay for baby to cry.
It's okay for baby to cry.
It's okay. Yeah. And they're developing their lungs. That's good, right? So it's okay for them to cry. And of course with the pacifier, that's why some people use pacifier, because then baby want to just stay at the breast just as comfort. And that's why when you know that it's okay for them to cry, it's the way their lungs are maturing, it's the way they communicate. You don't have to use this. But of course, if that helps you, some people can't deal with the noise, use it. We don't want you to go crazy. Use it. But if you feel like, it worsens, because some babies, when they get pacifiers, then they don't want to nurse for some reason. So you just have to see what works for your baby. Okay? But it's okay for babies to cry. Now, ways that it can help. So we'll all take turn reading this. Ways that it can help. Anyone?
Take paternity leave if you have it.
Do you think it would be great if they're home? Mm-hmm. I think so too. Okay?
Ask for help, information, and support from your family. People to bring food, help with laundry, clean the house.
You are superheroes too, but don't put everything on yourself. If mother-in-laws want to help, let them help.
Yes.
Stay with your wife. You guys are happy. When people get married, they have this time and period set aside. They call it honeymoon, right? Have a baby moon. You, your wife, your baby, get to know each other, get to bond, and let these people help. They will love to help. Let them help with that, okay? Next.
Spend time with your baby to develop your own confidence.
Because there will be a lot of different people offering you different help. But it's like you don't know this baby, and you need to know. It's like when you're dating, you wouldn't just not spend time with your girlfriend or your fiancé and be like, oh, you tell me about her. It doesn't work that way. You have to know them and then you see what works for them, right?
Respect her physical limits and need to heal after birth. Don't pressure her for sex.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Support her breastfeeding goals. If she wants to breastfeed 8 times a day or 10 times a day, support her, cheer her on.
You go, girl.
And the last one?
Bring her a fresh glass of water every time. Bonus points for adding a straw, which helps for her consume more liquid.
Yay! Because especially, can you just imagine her making all this milk? It's liquid, so for sure she needs a ton of water, right?
With ice.
Eyes. Bonus point eyes, right? Someone else? Ways that can help continuation? Did you see this dad, by the way? The picture, it's not very...
Oh,
But the dad has like a bottle and he's breastfeeding the baby with the bottle on his chest.
That's awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Anyone else would like to read?
Gift her new nursing bra and new outfit. Her maternity clothes may not fit well. Neither will her pre-pregnancy clothes.
You guys think so? Because
Yeah.
your whole body is changing and your breast is growing too. Okay?
Encourage her and remind her what an incredible mom she is.
Yes, because it can be tough some days. We have a lot of, maybe not a lot of moms, but moms go through just hormonal changes just from what has happened to them and their body trying to cope with, oh, there's no more baby, and now you have to breastfeed, and there's a new baby you're trying to learn about, and you want to just support that. Yes, and we have moms that have depression, like they go into depression just because they don't have that support system, and they feel overwhelmed. It's real because there's like this whole new human you're getting to know and you're in charge of, you know, you have all this responsibility, so they really need you to support them at that time. You're both doing this together, okay? Ways that can help?
Birth baby after mama is done feeding.
Why do we birth babies? Any ideas?
maybe they don't choke or maybe gas.
Sometimes they swallow air, and so when you birth them, it makes it come out. And they're just like that, someone touching them. Yeah. Okay?
Make sure she is comfortable when she goes to the bathroom.
Okay.
Jump into bonding with the baby. Talk, read, and sing to baby.
You know, if a mom is breastfeeding a baby, let's say 12 times a day, that's that's a lot of time. So you take every chance you can to get to be with that baby to burp, to talk, to sing, to be like, okay, now it's daddy time, you know, before it's their time to go back and nurse, right? Okay?
Yeah, start a baby and daddy time. Are you a bath time guru? King of the diaper change? Or baby walker extraordinaire?
So just different things that you can do. I just realized that I have a handout for you. I give it to you at the end of the class this funny. About breastfeeding, just something for you to be able to go over when that time comes. So start something that it's just between you and your baby. You want to, when this baby grows up one day and they're 18 and they're leaving the house, you want them to remember that time, that special time they have with their father. You want to create a bond, and it starts from now. So do you want to be the one to help them take showers, bath, change their diaper, help them walk and stuff. Just things to do, just ideas to think about of something that you can do that is redeeming, and you can create a bond with your baby and spend time with them. Okay?
She needs time alone, even if she doesn't ask for it. Encourage her to spend some time away from baby. You've got this.
Wives, let me hear you say they've got this.
I've
You guys have got this. So encourage the moms to take time away, because we all get overwhelmed. Of course you love your baby, but also you need time by yourself to keep your sanity. So You need some time away. And if you don't feel like the dads can do it, then you're like, okay, maybe I have to be there all the time. But you don't have to be there all the time. It's their baby too. They can care for the baby. And they've got this. Right, Dennis? Yeah. They've got this. Now, breastfeeding tips. Get a good latch. When we say latch, I wish I have a breast manicure, but I don't. Well, of course, we all know that the breast has the nipple and then it has the areola. And the areola is the one that has that different color. Yeah.
The outside.
Yes, the outside part. Thank you. So when your baby is latching, it has to grab all of that. Not just the nipple, but up onto the areola. Because if the baby is grabbing just on the nipple, it gets really sore. So you don't want that. You want the baby to grab onto the areola. Bring the baby to you. When you're nursing it, so sometimes you feel tempted to bring the baby to you feel tempted to come closer to the baby like this. Instead, you want to bring the baby to you, okay? Because you want to keep your posture, you don't want your back to start aching. At the first month, you'll be like, I'm done with this, you know? I don't want to do this anymore. So you want to be as comfortable as possible. The next point is empty your breast. What's the reason why we want to empty our breast?
Make more.
To make more. And also to get both the fore milk and the hind milk. Both the lactose one and the one that has the fat, right? Try different breastfeeding positions. There are a lot of different positions you can try. They have this one. I don't even know what the name is, but this is the most common one. They have the upright ones. I don't know how they do it. I might be doing it wrong. And then they have the football, it's called a football position. And some have the baby like this. But when you can go on Google and just look at different positions and say which one is easier for you, works for you. So don't feel like you have to stick with this. You could also do something like this or something like this, like laying down and have the baby fit like this. And when you are breastfeeding your baby, some people have this big pillow. I don't know if you've seen it. And they lay the baby there. Anything that will help you feel comfy, because this is something that you'll be doing for a whole long time. A whole year, 2 years. Some people just do it for 6 months. But 6 months is still a long time, correct? So you don't want to spoil your posture, especially your back. So you want to be as comfy as possible. You want pillows around you, you want pillows on your back. If you need to buy a stool so that you could put your leg up, a little stool, it helps keep you comfy. So anything that will make you feel comfortable when you nurse, you want to do it, okay? Try skin to skin. Babies love skin to skin. When your babies first come out, usually the moms they have them skin to skin. But also that, try to have the baby skin to skin to you when you have time alone together. Because the baby smells you and they bond with you by smelling you like that, skin to skin. So some people even do it at birth. After the mom has some time with the baby, they also take off their shirt and have the baby just by them and just smell them. Okay?
What if you're real hairy? Is it like hair to skin contact?
That's good.
The baby will know it's you.
Yeah, like this is daddy. Thanks for asking that question.
Or mommy.
Or mommy. Or mommy. You have the baby spirit, so the baby accepts you for who you are, right? Any other questions?
No, that's really, I wouldn't even think of the different positions. You know, that's.
Yeah,
I mean, I never really thought about this, but yes, that's.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
And that's why it's going to be taking this class, because then everyone is on the
Same page.
same page, right? I like that, Kelsey. Okay, at least 8 to 10 feeding at the beginning. Why do we want them to eat at least 8 to 10 times in the beginning?
So they get all the colostrum?
They take out the colostrum and establishes your
Milk production.
milk production, yeah, especially for your milk to come in. Because if you're not feeding that often, your body's like, oh, okay, maybe she doesn't need it. So we want to have the baby latch that for that long. Okay, let them feed as long as they want on the one breast before offering the second breast, so that you can get fore and hind milk. I'm sorry, I'm like overloading you with the same thing because I want you to
No,
get
it's
that.
fine.
Please
Yeah.
empty your breast so your body can make more. Okay?
I have a question.
Yes.
So, if you're feeding on like one breast and they finish before it's empty, but you want to pump the rest of it out, would you want to give them that hind milk later on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do that. Yes.
And then like the next time you go for your feeding, you would do the opposite breast that
Correct.
you didn't feed on?
Correct.
Okay.
Charlotte was sharing that when she was raising her kids, she realized some of them are like more fussy in the evening, and she got to know that it's because she doesn't produce as much in the evening. That's why. So they're hungry still, and she doesn't have that much. And so she's like, okay, now I know what to do. So she'll pump after she
And
feeds.
save it for
Yeah.
evening.
I'm not sure if she pumps, but I don't know how she got to feed them more. But she said when she feeds them extra, like when the dad comes home, maybe she'll put it in a bottle or in a spoon or in a little syringe and have them feed the baby that. And the baby feels more calm in the evening and less fussy.
I have another question.
Yes.
So you said that try to avoid using
Pacifier.
much bottle time. But is that the reason why? Because they could just reject the nipple
Yeah.
and
some
they want the
baby
bottle instead?
Yes. So some baby get confused and they're like, what's this? No, I think I like this better. I don't have to walk as hard.
So it's like
So-
maybe something you want to introduce later on once you have like the breastfeeding.
So what she
Yes,
just
that-
said though, and they don't finish or whatever, is it okay for her just to, she obviously needs to pump out the rest of the milk to make better milk and new milk. So it's just better for her to like not pump it and then use that bottle to feed the rest of the milk to the baby?
Good question.
Is that,
Like
am I saying that right?
Yeah,
Because you don't want them to suck out of a bottle.
Yeah.
So what were you gonna do with the rest of the milk?
Maybe freeze it?
Freeze it for later.
No, that's what I just said, for later, but
Yeah. Until like it's so how common is it for like a baby not to finish feeding all the way?
how common is it?
Yeah. Like does it happen or does it just depend on the baby?
yeah, whenever
Just
the baby.
depends on the baby.
But I'm just saying, like,
So the things I'm saying, I don't want you guys to take it as absolute.
yeah,
Because I think we make a lot of mistakes, or maybe it's not mistakes, it's just how we think. When we think everyone should be in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
In black and white is not just the only colors, correct? Like you have to see what works for your baby.
yeah.
If you see a baby doesn't always, usually they will usually empty you out on one breast if you let them finish on that. But sometimes they don't because maybe they weren't really hungry, they were just kind of like more, it's comfort eating. And so you're not empty right there. So yeah, it's tricky. You have to see, and that's why the first 2 weeks is very important for you to get to know your baby. You want to be there, you want to see their cues, how do they eat, maybe you can, you don't have to introduce a bottle, but if introducing a bottle would help save would help the baby to be able to get the fat content, the hind milk, because they always, you see it's a pattern for them, they always never empty your breast and they don't get that, which means they wouldn't be growing well, then because then that works for you, and it doesn't need to work for some other people and other babies like that. So you have to really see what is best. Some people also say instead of using a bottle, you could use like a spoon, or you could use like a syringe and just put a little bit in their mouth, so that if they're just not sucking on the nipple and they don't get confused, it's the whole thing behind.
That's my concern is that like, like the baby will like decide to not
Yeah.
breastfeed, and then you're gonna have to be pumping into a bottle.
And that's the thing you have to just see.
Yeah.
You know, your baby might take bottle, and they might still be good on breast.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
okay, this works. And your baby might take a bottle and be like, I don't want this breast anymore. And you're like,
Yeah.
okay, we're not gonna give you bottle anymore. I'm the parent. You're gonna get breast milk, right?
If you're hungry, you're gonna take it.
Yeah. Yeah. And some people get like this little dropper, like the high drop thing. They have it for the baby, and then they use that to like give them the breast milk too, the one that you pumped, so they don't have to get it from a bottle. But then I just want you guys to see more why you need to have a baby morning time with your baby, so that you know.
You learn.
You learn, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry, there's no like yes and no.
No,
answer to it.
It's
It makes
answered
sense
my
that it really
question.
depends on the baby.
Yeah.
And how
But I could see how like you want to try to avoid any kind of other nipple,
Mhm.
because there's that possibility where the baby will pick that over yours.
Yes. And babies sometimes even pick one breast over the other.
Yeah, I heard that too. I heard a lady today.
My mom even said that like one
She had to
breast
trick her
was
baby.
easier to get the milk supply out than the other one.
Yes.
I heard somebody that the baby would only accept one side of the one side, so she'd have to trick the baby and like kind of like lace. I don't know. She was just saying she had to like lay differently or something to think that she's on this side.
And then she eats better.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
It's weird.
And now if you make that mom be like the norm for everyone, like, no, it doesn't work that way. You
Yeah.
have to see what works for your baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I've seen people that their breast is so different, one is like so much different from the other. You're like, I don't want that. So you really want to work on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're the parent and you're in charge, right?
Yeah.
Baby's not in charge.
Yeah.
You are in charge. So you, it's a learning curve, and you'll get there. God is with you on this journey. Any other questions? No? Okay. Okay, I think we just read this. Let them feed on everything. I know for some other moms, when the baby's like, they would like one breast than the other, or they feed better on one, then they would make them always start when they're hungry. On the other one they don't like. So they don't have a choice then too, right?
That's a good idea.
Eat from it. When you're hungry, you usually don't care, you just want food.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Another thing, one of the other tips is that because you are breastfeeding a lot, you don't want to get mastitis or infection, so you want your nipple to dry, because then it's wet when you're constantly breastfeeding, so you want it to hair dry. So let your nipple hair dry. When comfortable nursing clothes and bra, you would constantly be breastfeeding. So if you have to always take out your clothes and put it back on, I mean, that would be tiring. So you want to wear, I don't know, they have a lot of, just nursing clothes or shirts or bras just made for nursing. And that would be a great gift to give to your wife. Just a heads up. So something comfortable for them to wear, because you'll be doing this a lot of time, right? And some people make stuff. I know some people would take like old bras and just cut the front and then breastfeed like that. Because then when you're in a house, no one is looking at you or anything like that. So you can also be creative and make something. Relax. When you relax, it helps your milk come down. It's amazing. And you will get to a time that your baby will just cry and your milk will just come. Like, it's so amazing. So like I was saying, 1 diaper on the first day, 2 diapers on the second, 3 on the third, 4 on the fourth, 5 on the 5, 6 on the 6th day, and then from the 6th day usually it's more regular. It's like 6, 6, 6 or 4 or 3. But then you'll be able to see what is best for your baby, or if your baby's still growing, or if they're getting enough. I didn't write this, but usually on the first day, on the first 3 days, they have black pulp, and it's called meconium. And then their poop changes when your milk comes in. It becomes like mustard yellow. And then it just changes like that. So it's interesting to see even changes in their body and in what comes out, even their poop, as the milk comes in.
Yeah.
Eat nutritious food. You are indeed eating for two. I know when you're pregnant, people are like, oh, you're eating for two, but really, really, you are eating for two when your baby comes out and you're breastfeeding. So remember, what you eat is what your baby gets. So you want to eat balanced meal, your carbs, your proteins, your fresh fruits and veggies, unrefined carbs. You want to eat very nutritious food because you want to give your baby the best start of life, right?
Yeah.
Stay hydrated. Why do you want to stay hydrated?
Because your milk is basically like a fluid in your body.
Yes. So if you don't have enough fluid, then your body does not have everything it needs to make the milk, right? So you want to drink. You will drink a lot. Empty. Empty your breast so you don't get mastitis. Mastitis is the inflammation of the breast when one of your ducts gets plugged, like it gets hardened, and the milk is not flowing through it, and it can get infected, and a bunch of stuff can happen. So you want to empty your breast, right? Surround yourself with people that would help. So surround yourself with people that are not people that are like, why are you breastfeeding? This is so horrible. This is so hard. No. Go ahead.
Mothers, they're not allowed to like drink any alcohol or anything while they're breastfeeding because that could get into the milk.
Well,
right?
we can say like you're not allowed to. You're an adult, right? Thou should not drink alcohol when you're breastfeeding.
No, I just don't know.
But you don't want to.
Yeah.
You don't want anything that that can affect your baby, and you don't know how that would affect your baby, so you probably don't want to do that. And also, you want to make sure what kind of drugs or medications you are on, because usually medications are given according to your body weight, but that baby is so little, and everything you eat goes through them. So you want to make sure.
That's probably why mothers are like, oh no, it's so hard, because they probably at that moment having a newborn and just you want to relax and you know, I can see how some mothers can't stay on that strict diet, you know.
Or eat nutritious.
Yeah, eat
It's
good.
Like, I want to snack on something. But I mean, it's not like it's rigid like that. You could never, I don't know. But you know what's best for you.
Yeah.
You know what's best for your baby. And you'll learn, you know. This is a whole new thing for them to, you're all learning. So Charlotte will say, her kids, some of her kids will like just cry a lot. And she's like, I don't know what to do. So she would just sit there and cry with them like, let's all cry together, okay? They'll all cry together. They'll all be tired and then they'll sleep. So we're all learning, right? You just all learn about this together. And it's okay to feel overwhelmed or to feel like, oh, I cannot do it. But surround yourself with people that will support you. Pumping an empty breast makes makes your body make more breast milk. Again, pumping. So I was gonna explain this. Sorry. So after you breast milk, let's say your baby is emptying your breast out, you still want to pump, and that's how you increase you increase your growth and maintain it. So even though there's nothing coming out, just that extra 5 minutes that you're pumping is telling your brain, we don't have enough. We need to make more, and so your body would make more.
So like let it pump even if there's no milk coming out.
Yeah,
Okay.
your body is still telling your body that we need more.
Okay.
And some people suggest that 5 to 20 minutes of pumping 4 times a day. If you cannot do it 4 times a day because it's extra, you could do it 2 times and then build up to that. And usually your body would get the message and make more. Any questions on this? No. Our last slide. It's normal for baby to cry. That's how they communicate. So don't get don't feel overwhelmed. After you've changed them, of course, and you've fed them and you've swaddled them and hold them, they usually like to be with you. Some babies are more independent because they're used to. We actually call them newborns until 3 months. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? Because they're still like they're still babies.
Yeah.
They're not like a whole year. If we have to count them, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like, they come out at 9 months, and then if you're at 3 months, it really makes them like a whole year old. But anyways, so they really like to be with you. So sometimes some babies, but then you cannot cause them to be holding a baby for 24 hours either. So it's okay. They can cry. And if you have to take a break and go out and stay in the other room, and make sure, of course, they're not like close to where they will fall, leave them to cry. It's okay. They'll be fine. They will have strong musical voice when they grow old. American Pediatrics recommends no pacifier the first 2 weeks after birth to establish breastfeeding and getting used to the nipple. I'm sorry, I made this slide when last night had the birth. So I'm just saying, like, why am I leaving what's out? That's just a recommendation, and it's just so the baby doesn't get confused. But you also want to get to know your baby, and some babies are okay, some are not okay, so you just want to get to know your baby and see what works for your baby. And do not give up. You could do anything else but give up. Right? We will not give up on breastfeeding because it's the best for the baby. Any questions? This is the end of our breastfeeding class, in our class.
Yeah, you could see the difference too, because she was breastfed and I wasn't. You could totally tell.
So mastitis is caused by not emptying your breast all the way?
Well, it's caused by a lot of things, but that's probably one of the biggest things. Yeah.
Okay.
When your milk don't get blocked.
Okay. That's like the one thing I've heard that's like absolutely terrible.
Yeah. So emptying your breast will help prevent that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just to keep breastfeeding on that side, if you start to feel like a warm red spot, kind of the beginning of mastitis, like if you're getting really feverish and it's getting really bad, obviously you should be calling your midwife. But like you want to drain and kind of unblock that duct, so breastfeeding helps.
So that happens.
Yeah.
And usually there are people that are just trained as breastfeeding lactation. What do we call them?
Lactation
consultants. Like they just went to school just to learn this. Isn't that amazing? So there's help. Reach out to people that can help you. And usually, when your baby is born, we usually help you with that first time of the baby latching on and breastfeeding. And usually it's good for most people. But then if you have hard time, then we can refer you out to people that just started just about breastfeeding and how your baby can have good breastfeeding. So there's resources out there. If anything makes you stay up at night, call us. There are resources, and there are other moms that are going through this. And I know that there are lots of different groups on Facebook, on some people in their church or in their community. Reach out to moms that, new moms that are, going through the same thing, because then you get to new dads too, because it's not just moms. If something, they say a happy wife is a happy life, right? So if your wife is happy, then everything is good. If she's not happy, everything is not the best. So you want to reach out to that community. And you guys have been in this class together, so you can even, get together and talk about, or call and talk about how is this going for you, what are you doing, just sharing. Because you guys are going through the same stage of life together.
Do you have her number? You should get her number.
Yeah.
And then this might be this.
That's okay. There's no dumb questions.
This one is.
I would like to hear it.
So you at one point we were talking about you don't want the baby just to get the nipple. You want him to like grab onto the.
The whole areola.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how do you make them grab onto it? Like you just push their head
Good question.
Like if they're not putting their
They
mouth
could
on
just
the
keep
hole.
on getting your nipple and it's hurting, and you're
Yeah.
like, hey, get the whole thing.
So usually in the beginning your breast might hurt because you're not used to breastfeeding anyone, right? Which is okay. But if the baby has a bad latch, I think I took a picture of it. Let me see.
And I'm sure she probably would. Oh, okay. So you have to kind of like tip the head and kind of like, here, this is how you do it.
Yes. So they have to have their mouth open.
Okay.
And I
And
like,
then just,
yeah.
no, like they're not that hard.
You just have to do a little assistance.
Yeah, well, yeah, just like tip the head down and get in there.
Yes. Hannah's gonna show us a bit more.
I just use my breast because I don't have a model. But you just like sometimes with the baby, and you want its ear, shoulder, and hip to be aligned for good, because you can't really drink like this or like that. And then sometimes you just like you don't want to like shove your nipple in their mouth, and it's like you want their mouth to kind of like, and then you can even kind of squeeze your breast. We called it a sandwich in the Philippines, like
Sandwich.
kind of like a breast sandwich, and bring your baby to your breast. I know I'm leaning forward, but bring your baby to your breast, and then and they'll like. Did you talk about like rooting and like they'll show you they're hungry? They'll be like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like,
Or for like they'll like
pecking.
turn their heads.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like even if you touch the side of their cheek as a newborn, they'll be like,
Where
where's
is it?
the milk?
Don't
So
ever do that
like-
again with a baby's head.
not quite like that. You're gonna have nightmares then. But yeah, like they actually are really good at giving you cues way before they cry. Crying is like, I hurt, I'm so hungry, like I'm hangry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're telling you like, Mom, like where's your breast? I'm looking for it, like, and just kind of sucking sounds and like and stuff. So like they're gonna, you'll notice with your baby, like if you're kind of paying attention for that, you'll be like, I think he's hungry, and it doesn't hurt to try.
Yeah.
So, but they're genius, and it's not normal for breastfeeding to hurt. I've heard so many like mothers-in-laws and moms be like, oh honey, it just hurts me, you'll just get used to it. There's stretching at first. It's like with a massage, kind of like there's like good hurt and bad hurt, right? So there's like at first you're like, oh my goodness, my nipple is stretching. That's normal. But if you're like, oh my goodness, I feel like my skin is being ripped off and this sucks, that's not normal. Baby doesn't have a good latch. Get help, and don't listen to any, usually older women, that are like, oh honey, you'll just get used to it, just suck it up, and if you have like an ulcer and stuff, that's just part of being a mom. That's a lie.
So it's just like, yeah, they just don't have a good latch and you're not doing it properly.
Yeah, and sometimes like, because baby is also new at breastfeeding. So you kind of are training each other together. They're not like these baby geniuses. I mean, they kind of are, but they're also not baby geniuses.
They're
in like,
figuring it out too.
yeah, it's a journey together, and it may take a little bit of time. So, sorry, I'm not trying to take over.
No, thank you. How many we are thankful for Hannah?
Yeah.
Thank you, Hannah. Another thing is, another thing, just backing up what Hannah just said, is that time, at least the 2 weeks you get into, or the first week you're getting to know your baby, the baby mooning time. These are things you learn, you pick up, you're like, oh, they're doing that, they want food. Oh, they are looking at me, I don't know, staring at me or something, or they need to poop. Those are things, the cues you pick up about your baby, and that makes your baby special, and no one is telling you that. Oh, I think your baby needs to feed now. You know, because you've spent that time with them, and that's what they want, that's what they need, right?
And if you bed share or have your baby in your room or close to your bed, often you'll find you'll start to wake up just before baby does to feed them. Like your bodies will sync, and if you bed share or have like one of those cribs that attaches to the side of your bed.
Yes.
Sometimes you can kind of just, like, they'll latch on and you might even be asleep, and then you just kind of, you actually tend to sleep better if you bed share or share a room with baby instead of having to get up in the night, go to the nursery, and
Yeah,
it's actually way better in terms of sleep to
that makes sense.
do that if there's no,
Especially if you're
Concerns.
breastfeeding everything. Yeah, that just
Mhm.
makes sense.
Having to go to their room like every 2-3 hours, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, just to get out
So
of
just
bed.
waking up in bed and have them be right there.
Yeah.
like, here's my nipple, okay, I'm going back to bed.
Yes. Thank you, Hannah.
You're welcome, thank you.
Any questions, guys? No. Okay. We saw that. You see how she's sandwiching.
Oh.
So it says nose on target with nipple. You see that? And then tickle lower lip with nipple. So you tickle their lower lip with the nipple, and then they even open more. And then the nipple, they actually don't get the message onto the nipple, which is there. The top of their palate, the roof of their mouth. So if they just have the nipple here, they really sometimes don't know it's there. So it has to be all the way.
In their mouth.
Yeah, and that's why the areola is part of what goes in their mouth. You see, the baby didn't just have the nipple, it has even the little brown part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this brings me to my last slide. If there are no questions, feedbacks. I got the name. It's called feedback. I love feedback. This is my first class that I've taught in a long time.
Yeah, you know.
Yes. Oh. I thought you were asking me, do you have an email? Like, yeah. I love feedbacks of which classes do you think that, helped you the best, or what could make this class better, if you recommend this to a friend. Just what things that can help, that you think can help make this class better, because if we're not growing and if we're not making things better, then we're just dormant. So I want to grow, and I would love to hear back from you guys. And I wish you the best on this rest of this journey, beautiful journey. And looking forward to seeing you when I get back with your babies. Or maybe not yet, we'll see. You're due in October and September.
Yeah.
And
September 26th is my due date.
Was it
Okay.
26th? Because it was 28th, and then it turned to 26 when we found it was good,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, so I might actually be back before that. I might see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe you're in October, so I might make it. We'll see.
Yeah, October 7th.
Woohoo! Yeah, so let's all keep in communication. And it's been my uttermost blessing. I've been blessed, I feel the most, teaching this class. I love it, I love you guys. I actually look forward to it. I'm like, yeah, I'm so excited, when you have something to share. And just having you guys just being full of joy and asking questions, and being okay when I don't have answers, or when I don't explain it okay. I just really enjoyed it. So thank you guys for coming and for making it. And
Thanks for
coming
teaching us.
time.
Yeah.
Really,
Absolutely.
really enjoyed it.
Yeah, thanks for like doing this whole thing and for free,
Yeah.
and giving us the opportunity to learn more about what we're about to happen.
Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah. What do you guys know? I'll have you guys just write that whenever you in your free time. That'll make it better. Yeah. Any questions or any comments before we pray?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's okay. Would anyone like to pray? If not, I can pray. I'll pray.
You could pray.
Yes. Let's pray. Thank you, Father, for Goldie and for Kelsey and for the little baby growing. Thank you for what you're doing for their family. Thank you for Holly and for Andrew and their baby too. And just thank you for what you're doing for them too. Thank you for the time we were able to get to know one another and just share in class and learn. And Father, I just pray that you continue to bless these two families, and as baby continues to grow and they continue to learn, and look forward to the day the baby will be born. I pray that you will bless them with all that they need, spiritually, financially, mentally, socially, emotionally, to bring up this baby the way you want them to bring up this baby, and that you bless their little families that is growing. And I just thank you so much for the privilege to teach this class. I love you very much, and I thank you. And we thank you for your blessing that even though a woman with a breastfeeding child could forget her child, but that you will never forget us. So we're thankful for this, and we're thankful for your death on the cross for us.